Alrighty. There we are. Twitch is now live, and YouTube is usually quick to follow its example. Which is, well, you'd think that'd be the other way around, wouldn't you? Because it's YouTube. It's supposed to be premier part of the interwebs. But no, sometimes you get ahead by following. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy end of the week. Happy weekend. And, well, honestly, that greeting is coming kind of late for my guest tonight, for I am joined from the other side of the world, my good friend Norman Sanzo.
Hello, Silver. Hello, everyone in chat.
So, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. This is one of those scenarios where we have flipped the table.
Yes, in more ways than one. For those who don't know... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
For those who may not be aware, I'm part of the MBS Show, which is hosted by Norman. And usually we record on weekends. And so usually we record his evening, my morning. Now it's my evening, his morning. But he's in the future.
Yep. And I can tell you all about the future, man. Like the future is going to be bright and sunny and a bit of rain.
And a bit of, well, you know what? I'll take a bit of rain over Noah's Ark, which is what I would define 2020. Know what I mean?
2020 is one of those years where all the visionaries say it's going to be awesome. Like, 2020, we're going to get flying cars. We're going to get robots that do our work and whatnot. And one of those two things did happen. We get a Roomba.
Yay, Roombas.
And we don't have flying cars.
Not yet. Although, honestly, given some of the driving I saw today, I'm okay with not giving someone aerial capacity. I don't think any of the science fiction authors really thought through what would happen if we gave people flying cars.
True. I mean, you think about it. Like, you people right now have trouble accessing X and Y axis, but if you inserted a Z axis to that, like, oh no.
Oh, come on. If you had inserted a Z axis, everyone would be going, zounds! I'm about to hit someone. Zounds, geese! Actually, it makes me kind of wonder.
Oh my god.
Makes me kind of wonder, how would you handle migratory birds during rush hour?
You don't? They'll be extinct, I think.
Oh, dear. Oh, come on. We might get to see New York birds. Hey, I'm migrating here.
Probably. I'm sorry.
Not to worry. You can hear the melodious sounds of my workspace clattering around me. Anywho.
It's all good.
Anywho, I continue my work to have Iceberg Sky Striker visiting Ponyville's train station, which, funny enough, I first need a train station. It's funny how...
You haven't done that?
What, drawn a train station?
Yeah.
I started last week, but there's only so much I could do. And plus, I save a little something for, the next stream. So, I'm continuing my work on this. Gosh, if this window wants to cooperate. Come on.
That's a problem with Adobe products. Like, they're so expensive, but they're so hard to use.
Well, they take some getting used to. Then you become comfortable. It's like an old friend who likes to smack you in the head every now and again. It's like, hey, they'll help you move a couch, but they'll give you a concussion while they're at it.
Yeah, until the software crash.
That's the concussion.
How is the new Adobe? Like, I remember using the older version, quote unquote current than old. How is it now? Like, is it stable or is it just a piece of software that you don't want to deal with?
I appreciate how you checked yourself on that. You're just on the cusp of software who you want to use. How can I put it? In terms of stability, well, I've never known Adobe products or any program to run 100% of the time without some sort of crash. But I will say that it seems pretty stable. I'm not a fan of cloud-based service models. And yet, some again, that's what Adobe and everyone is pushing. And so, I don't know how long this will last before, I don't know, something else comes along. But I like the idea of saying, I paid for this, I own this copy, it is my copy with which to do with as I please. Now it's like, oh no, you're renting these programs from us. But I paid
Yeah,
you
I hate that model.
I paid you full price for this. Yes, you paid us full rental price, which used to be enough to own the program. But now, sorry.
Yeah, I hate that model because when you, okay, for example, like you can lease out the program because, well, you do this and you're getting paid by using it. But for me, okay, let's just say I want to use Illustrator and I'm just a casual user. I rather pay the full lump sum of the software and not rent it out, because if I rent it out and don't use it for, let's just say, 6 months, that would be really, really bad.
It's throwing money out the window. Now,
Yeah, I know.
as we discuss financial models, I want to give some shout outs to folks in the chats. For I see Kamodra Steele, who is working on their Australian terminology. Enderpup, good to see you. Helsing Ghost 1, which is funny. I believe I usually see you over on the Twitch. Noah Harris is there. Trinary, always good to see you. Preston Cox. And let's see here. I'm searching because I know Champ to Stay is usually here to ask that all-important question. But don't see Champ just yet. Oh, Gojalion91, good to see you. I'm hoping Norma Ruiz will be there with her phonetic spelling. And over on Twitch, I see Helsing Ghost 1. And Cat G 9917 still looking to cook some Silver-Quill. And River Delim, who's kind of, just let me call them River. And Anna Wildcat, good to see you. And of course, my friend Drinking Buddy and Blue Griffin. Excellent. Hope I gave... Oh, there she is. Norma Ruiz. Good to have you here. Good to have everybody. Now, actually, Norman, because I invoked the question that even if Champ's not here, we can carry on the tradition for Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. Have you seen it?
Okay, I have, but if I remember right, I didn't really watch it in terms of, okay, I'm gonna sit down and gonna pay full attention to it. I've seen bits and pieces of it, and when I'm just like taking care of my nephew and whatnot, it's on, and yeah, it's interesting. And I do like how they updated the show to become more 3D.
Really? Because I, as far as I understand, or as little as I understand, that's a point of contention amongst fans. Some are outraged that the Thomas design they knew was gone.
Oh yeah, because here's the thing. Thomas the Tank Engine originally was one of those shows where they use models and puppetry, like it's practical effects, and it had its charm. Then suddenly, when you take it to the new age, like everything is nowadays, and put it into budget 3D, it loses its magic. It loses its touch.
And, well, I will say from what little I knew of Thomas, the faces always looked a little bit confusing for me. So I may be biased in that. Of course, if I'm offering my full opinion, it'd be like, oh my god, what's wrong with that trait's face? Why does it have a face?
No, I mean, Thomas the Tank Engine became a bit popular when Ant-Man came out.
Ant-Man? Were they?
Yeah.
Did they coincide somehow?
No. Did you forgot that Marvel Ant-Man?
Well, I remember seeing Ant-Man. It's sort of a funny thing. Was it just they both became popular at the same time, or did Ant-Man do
No, it
something
was just
for
a
Thomas?
blimp. it was just a blimp. Like, remember the scene where Ant-Man was fighting with Yellow Jacket?
Uh, Yee.
Yeah, and then there was a train, and then it hit
Oh yes, that
Yellow.
super dramatic moment, and then you get the far shot from the human perspective. Tink.
Yeah, that, and also when he threw the train out. I mean, it was kind of, I don't know how to put it. Maybe it was just a funny nod or just some kind of something. It was just a blip.
I'm trying to picture a kid saying, "Mommy, Daddy, I want the train so I can run the supervillain over with it." And I'm totally talking in this
Did
voice.
you
Oh dear, it's gonna be like
did you finish your homework?
I'm gonna have to get my voice high again once again, like I told James last week. A hammer and certain uncomfortable spots.
Oh God. You okay?
Well, I'm fine. Just a little tender down
Oh.
there.
Yes. Oh God. So I noticed a question from Elder Pup before, and I'm gonna save it because he says he's gonna go get food. So I'm gonna save it for a bit.
All right, we'll save it when it gets back. Excellent. Let's see. Now, Preston Cox wonders if we know Smudger from Thomas Tank. Isn't that the evil train from the movie?
I, honestly, I got no idea, man. Like all I know is just, oh, look, there's Thomas, the tech engine. Oh, the nostalgia critic reviewed the movie of it, and that's about it.
Honestly, I mostly know it from the joke from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. Thomas was very upset because he'd been turned into a dragon, and all the other trains laughed at him. What a bunch of wankers, thought Thomas. Can I say that on YouTube, I wonder? I mean,
I guess
I
yeah,
mean, it,
mostly your audience are Americans.
I guess, but technically it's an insult, a bit of a curse, and yet it sounds
Yeah.
very cultured because it's not from America.
I know. It's like it's like saying the word poppycock, and it's nothing bad.
Oh, this poppycock brouhaha,
I know.
Kush McClaver. Oh, I see Master of Lag in the chat.
Oh, yay.
Good to see you, Lag. Let's see here. Logan Care wondering, is anyone in the Rift Cafe ever called Blissey cute? And well, yes, many people have done that. They're not in the Rift Cafe anymore. In fact, we still have search parties out for them. But hopes are low.
Oh,
I
there's
just
there's a question from Goji Leon.
uh huh.
Is that how you say it? Goji Leon 91. So he asked, or they ask, are you into kaiju or tokusatsu?
Ah,
Mm, if I'm not mistaken, kaiju is big giant monsters. Tokusatsu is Ultraman and whatnot.
Ultraman, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider. Uh, I don't know if you're as familiar with those. What basically became Power Rangers here in America.
Uh, in all honesty, I like them both, but I'm not deep into it.
That makes sense. We can't be deep. We can't passionately pursue everything. We'd have no energy for. It's like quality versus quantity. Are you a passionate fan of a few things and a connoisseur of others, or do you try to be passionate about everything and therefore never can't really be passionate about anything? Oh, did I just
Yeah,
blow your
true,
minds?
true. It's one of those. It's true. Like you want to like everything, but you can't really focus on everything. It's the phrase "jack of all trades, master of none."
Ooh, but have you heard the latter half of that quote?
What was it?
But so much more useful than a master of one.
Ah, true, true. Basically, the bard in your party then.
Honestly, if I think of a movie, The Gamers, Darkness Rising, where the bard was just the guy who died a lot. I mean, a lot. His player filled out entire paper stacks of character sheets just to have more bards come in and die, and die, and die, and die.
What is with the Bart hate?
I don't know. They can't name that tune.
Mm, gosh. Uh, Olivia as favorite Disney sequel.
Sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. A Disney sequel, because I got to be honest, most of the well, okay. Ralph Breaks the Internet was pretty fun. I really enjoyed that. I mean, not quite on par with Wreck-It Ralph, but it was kind of satisfying to see him address his own shadow, this monster of his creation and fear. Oh, Norman, I'm getting some sort of buzz off our call. And no,
Really?
I don't mean that I'm enjoying some sort of illegal high.
Give me a second. Let me see what I can do.
But I enjoyed seeing Ralph confront that, and basically, you don't slay the monster. You just say, "Look, it's gonna hurt, but we'll be okay."
Okay, there is a addendum to that, like direct to DVD, like direct to video.
Oh well. Yeah, even then, I'd still give the nod to Ralph Wrecks the Internet. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Even they asked, "Why are we not calling it Ralph Wrecks the Internet?" But no, no, it's for whatever reason.
I'm trying to think really hard for my answer, and I'm just thinking like, okay, what is a good movie that I watched when I was a youngin and enjoyed? I think it could be Aladdin, like the second Aladdin or the third. Like, what? I think it was the final one where Aladdin meets his dad, the King of Thieves, something like
Ah, yes, Aladdin. That was another really good one. Though they mostly marketed on, "We got Robert Williams back."
that. Yay! I don't know. I mean, to me, it was entertaining and fun. Like the dilemma of the uh, Aladdin getting almost everything he wants and risking it all for his dad. Like that was a fun story.
It was, it was, and it had finally Aladdin and Jasmine tied the knot. Although Norman, if
Mm-hmm.
do you know at least Princess Jasmine's age?
Legal.
Close, but not quite.
I'm just gonna say legal and moving on.
Apparently, she's 16. I,
Mhm.
I mean, that's what I saw online. It was like, no, no, what? No,
It's
this only happens in anime.
yeah, yeah.
But no, they're saying, oh yeah, she's 16. What? Good luck.
But I hate to be that guy and say it was the times and whatnot. But mm,
Well, let's see here. Coda Cat 9 wonders any cartoon you guys feel didn't deserve a movie.
wait, did or did not?
Did not.
Hmm.
Something that
Steven Universe.
oh, I did. I confess I have not seen the full Steven universe, so I
The
can't weigh
show
in
is
on that.
not bad. Yeah, the show's not bad, but okay. When I'm not 100% sure if it's um uh, direct to TV movie or whatnot, but I feel like Stephen the movie it was yay there, but at the same time too, it kind of compressed everything and just throw a lot of things to the screen just to explain stuff. And it did the Applejack thing where, oh, just to make the show go, we have to make people dumb.
Oh no. That's honestly, I was about to ask, do you not think My Little Pony could be guilty of that as well in their movie?
Well, in all honesty, um, biasness aside, looking it from afar, eh, it's yeah, probably. But I don't know. They had to tell a story, and the risk was different from the normal thing that they usually do.
Hmm.
And honestly, I don't know. I mean, with every TV to movie kind of thing, do they really deserve, or do they really need one? Especially Naruto, like how many movies in between before they go to the future and whatnot? I mean, do they really need it?
Oh man, Naruto
Oh,
was
another one,
try.
Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, I don't know. I really enjoyed. Well, I feel like I'm stepping into uncharted territory here. I liked the Broly movie because it actually reminded me of the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Sorry, I'll rephrase it. The Battle of Gods and Resurrection of Frieza. Those two, do they really need it? But carry on, Silva.
Well, honestly, because okay, Battle of Gods jump started Dragon Ball again, got it back on the map. But Resurrection F, especially because they were going to just do it again in the show proper, that one was probably the most eh. But in terms of a cartoon that, well, a cartoon that didn't deserve a movie, and I'm assuming we're talking about. Actually, I think I know, but it wasn't a cartoon; it was a game. I believe it was called
Mm.
Dragonlance, an
Mm.
online MMO RPG, Morpga, and it had this movie. It was not at all good, and the quote unquote hero, the protagonist, good gravy. I was like, literally anyone else in the cast is better than this kid. Why? Why am I? Why are you subjecting your audience to this?
Okay, before you carry on, Silva, Olivia says, boarding plane soon. Thanks for answering questions. No problem. Was a
Oh,
good question.
oh, Olivia, good, safe travels. Ah, and I see
Yeah.
Anime Christie or Safi Heart Song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she says
Hello.
old man and Norman are nerding about Dragon Ball. Got it. Yep, you've gauged the situation
Yeah.
properly.
Myself like got a good answer for the movie shows that didn't need a movie. Miraculous Ladybug.
Are we talking about that New York special?
Yes.
Oh boy.
I still have. Oh man, that broke you. That really broke you.
Ladybug always breaks me. For those who don't know, whenever we've reviewed Miraculous Ladybug, I have inevitably wound up saying of the producers, "You sick, you sick," because they keep doing this weird stuff. It's like, no, don't do that.
I mean,
Why would you do
it's
that?
for TV. It's for TV and it's so funny and whatnot. But the movie really got you answering questions
It got me asking questions like, who thought it'd be funny to knock over buildings in New York?
for fun.
Again, it hit me. I remember where I was in 2001 on that terrible day, but I realized that there are folks listening right now, or watching this stream later on, who weren't even on the map just yet, and that's a sobering realization. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's stuff I liked about the story. I just don't know if magical hot dogs was one of them.
True. And yes, nice to meet you too, Nikki W. Silver, well, Silver and I, and also Tara. Or was it just both of us when we did that? I think it was just the both of us when we reviewed it.
Yeah, it was just the two of us.
Yeah, we review it on the MBS show where it's different from how Silver usually reviews stuff. Over there, it's more long form, more roundtable, and more insert jokes here because it's funny.
Indeed. No, I always have a good fallback with Norman. All I have to do is say wee wee wee, and usually get. Oh, I heard it. Yep, I heard a chuckle. There's no hiding it. It is recorded
uh,
for
yep,
posterity.
yep.
Oh, River is
Oh
wondering,
yes.
should I change my OC to a hippogriff? Honestly, change your OC if you feel you want to change. Uh,
That's true.
do however you want to best express yourself. I know when Kieran hit the scene in My Little Pony for just one episode, and yet fans were gaga. Kieran fever swept the fandom, and then the show ended.
True. I'll say this. I'll say this. Let's just say that they really they want to change and they're weighing the options. And okay, probably Hippogriff is one of them. So explore that question. Why and what are the upsides and downsides, and which version of the Hippogriff you want to change? Silver's version or show canon?
Yes, I'm a hipster Griff. I can say I was doing it before it was cool. Harumph.
True.
Oh, also, I see my bud, the illustrious Q, in the chat, and he found the magic hot dogs hilarious. I can see why, but then I do have to ask, who is the magic hot dog guy's mortal enemy? FDA man? He's always trying to inspect me, even as I fling kids up into the air. Magic.
Oh man. But one thing about that movie, right? That I saw that was pretty cool was the president. Like the president was almost like Captain America. And like, okay, that's cool. Yay.
I've been nominated by the American people to kick your ass.
Yeah. And, oh wow. The more I think about that logic, like, okay, the president is a superhero, but since he's the president, we have to have secret agents or what? Secret service, escorting him around while he do stuff.
Well, she
That,
does
that'll be
stuff.
s- that'll be strange. Yeah, that'll be strange just looking at it.
Oh wow, her sidekicks. Bullet for me, guys. I mean,
Wow.
dang.
Yeah.
I guess one of the funniest things about that movie
Still,
is the preponderance of superheroes, and just wondering, wow, how many superheroes are there? And none of them are magical.
there's this,
They're all
which is kind of interesting when you think about it,
yeah. France has magically empowered superheroes. America is more science driven.
or mystical. I think there's mystical.
Was there, because I only saw either heroes who were self made or heroes that had some sort of power that could theoretically be bestowed by some super science, and then
What
robots.
about the doorman? Like that seems
Ah, yeah.
mystical.
Ah, yes, that is mystical. Though it's a mystical tool. Now you got me there. I got nothing. Okay, so there's Doorman. Who else?
That's about it I can think of. Like I don't remember. Oh, here's one. From Eva. They ask, "Hey Silver, which is worse, the hot dog villain from Miraculous or the pizza monster from Power Rangers Turbo?"
Oh, I mean, well, okay. The pizza monster from Power Rangers Turbo, which actually tried to bake the Rangers into a pie, uh, that at least got Linkara to scream in despair. Can't ignore that contribution to our culture. I mean, the hot dog guy. Mostly, I just want to know, hey, you cleared all that with the Food and Drug Administration, bud? You don't think flying around New York giving out strange food that affects people in weird ways might raise some eyebrows? So honestly,
True,
I
true.
guess the pizza monster is worse because it tries to kill you. I'm just like
Yeah, but
I
in
wouldn't
the
try that.
yeah,
I don't want to try that
okay.
dog.
I mean that's the short term. But sorry, that's the short term where yeah, I bake you, you're dead. Bleh. But the long term, like just imagine eating a dog and no, hot dog and suddenly getting a massive case of the tummy aches, and that lasting for weeks because some magic juju don't really jive with your belly.
Oh, you make an excellent point. Even worse if it's all sparkly rainbow colored. Oh, it's beautiful, but it hurts going out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Creative Burst thinks that I should really show you the Night Owl episode, and I agree. But man, it's one of those cases where I want to show more Ladybug, but at this point, Silver is tapped out, so
I'm
I'm gonna wait for a bit until he is okay.
I'm broken on the inside. Ah, Trinary, thank you for your donation. Always appreciated. But hang on, Night Owl, the Batman proxy in New
Oh
York.
no, no. In Ladybug, remember the teacher, the principal? He changed into the owl, and then like, oh, he changed into that, and then crisis over. Oh, that's sad.
Oh yeah, that was a bit random for me. I was like, what? Wait, what? What's going on here?
Yeah, in the episode proper, he became that, but Ladybug and Cat Noir told him, yeah, you're old and brittle and you don't have any superpowers, and also you're not rich. So you probably stop that because you might get hurt. And he got sad, his feelings got hurt. And you know what happens?
Uh,
He got akumatized
oh,
and
yes.
he became a really badass.
Oh, Nikki W. Sweetie, her job featured a schedule shift. So basically, new rotations, new events for a new year. So she can't join us as easily, but not to worry. She'll likely chew me out for not getting proper rest or taking care of myself. But let it be known, I took a nap before we started the stream.
Yeah.
One blissful
And
hour of just
usually
lying down.
yeah, and usually if Silver comes to my show or records things on my show, he would wake up and have coffee by now.
And I'd be like, why are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about Ladybug. Because it's heck. Although if we're talking about
Joe.
if we're
Sorry?
talking about shows that break us, though, I worry that Pony Life is whittling you down, Norman.
Oh god, no. Before we carry on, Jonah just says I'm not too familiar with the MBS show. Where slash when is it? It's on the YouTube's at www.youtube.com/the MBS show. Over there you can catch me, Silver-Quill, and Totera reviewing pony episodes, comics, and specials. And sometimes we like to do other things other than ponies, and that's comic, cartoons, games, and so on.
And let's see here. First off, hello, Minecraft, yeah, boys, Skyrim, Michael. Glad you enjoy my videos. Oh, and I see Torterra. Is excellent.
Tera?
T-
Tera! Yay!
And it is funny. Wow, actually, we kind of are doing an MBS show because we've had Safi and Torterra and Norman are here. Like, hello.
Yay!
Hello,
You know, it
everybody.
would be strange if we just get everybody on the call and just do this like normal.
And then suddenly we're just, hey, the MBS show has hijacked my stream. Okay.
Yeah, but we're not reviewing, we're just talking. Like,
We're
that's
just talking,
fun.
getting to know you. Let's see here. Now, let's see. There was and a Wildcat 20. Wondering what kind of superpowers would we have? I can guarantee you generating magic hot dogs is not one of them. I'm going to harp on that for something
Yeah.
awful. Actually, it's kind of funny. Talking with my friend Josh Scorcher, he noted that some people do sort of a psychological evaluation based on your answer.
Hmm.
What does your superpower say about you? So I'm curious, Norman.
Hmm.
What would your superpower be?
Uh, hmm. Mine is a bit different. Like, I want to have uh Josuke's power from JoJo Part 4. where his power is to heal/repair things.
So I'm not sure what the quote unquote official study would be, but either A, that says you're a very nurturing and caring soul and you want to fix things, make them right, or you're hella clumsy and really tend to
Hmm.
break stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if we go for the generic one, oh, I want to fly, I want to be invincible, I want to have superpower or super strength. Like that's yay, but so generically boring.
Well, I don't know. I think it'd be wonderfully convenient. Case in point, my choice was teleportation to be able to just go anywhere right away. And Firebrand Josh commented that likely means you struggle with procrastination. You're always wishing you could get somewhere faster. And it's like, yeah, that's fair.
Well, to be honest, like I would say teleportation too, like how Goku does it. But when you think about it, it's not because I'm procrastinating or anything. It's just because I want to save on travel costs.
Travel costs. I don't want to have to deal with a commute again. Those drivers.
Yeah. I
And
mean that's a cool superpower.
yeah, so but there is also an element of oh god. I mean, my morning commutes. I do my best to get on the way, but it's early morning. Getting
Yeah.
there is not half the fun.
Uh just call just call me Nikki as Silver, how are you?
I'm doing well, and I hope everyone is as well. And Norton, how are you
This is
doing?
a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Like it's 9:30 a.m. I just well not really just woke up. I woke up at 7, took a shower, had my tea. So I'm good. This is a good one. Let's see. Marlon Marlon asks, do you think that T-Rex Chrysalis and Cozy Glow could be released in the season 10 comics? What do you think will happen to them? They are too big of characters just to just be forgotten.
A fair point, and I don't know. I mean, they had their moment of supreme power, and they still lost. Honestly, for where they go, if they can get out, is to say, do they finally just resign themselves to being that it's better to be miserable together than powerless alone, and just sort of declare a non-aggression pact with Equestria unofficially, or do they also go the redemption route? Which I'll be honest, as much as I understand people being upset by their petrification at the end, there is something to be said that hey, even Friendship is Magic acknowledges that some folks are beyond saving. I mean, we in the
Hmm.
past I've wondered, if you give it enough time, would even Flim and Flam give up their swindler ways?
Oh no, it's a personality trait for them.
I would call it more of a personality disorder at this point.
But in all honesty, like if I let's just say if I was Tyrek and I was released, I would not go to Equestria. Like I'll give up my um tirade on Equestria and move to another place and take it over. Like just don't look at Equestria.
And we'll have parties and blackjack. You don't forget the conquering.
Yeah. The joke ain't well if we have to censor ourselves.
Well, I mean, you try using that joke with a My Little Pony audience, and surely someone is going to say, "Won't someone think of the children?"
Oh wow. Here's a question from Eva. How would Twilight feel if they started to call her Purplestia Sparkles of Nazareth, the Princess of Hayburger?
The Princess of Hayburger,
Nazareth.
because she
Yeah,
consumes them with such gusto.
I know.
Well, honestly, I mean, she never really got beyond her hero worship of Celestius, so I could see her actually taking that as a compliment.
uh, I'm not sure. Like, yeah, I mean, mm,
Mm.
this I think this feels like a roundabout where, oh, Celestial with cake, Twilight with K-burgers, and the cycle goes on.
Things don't change; they just get more of the same.
Yep, that's true.
Oh, Coda Cat 9, yeah, I sense that you are a fellow night owl like myself. Morning bad, night good.
Yeah, I used to be like that until I discovered sleep.
Oh, or you took an arrow to the knee.
Yeah. Air to the knee hurts.
I can only imagine. And I have no intention of being enlightened, so don't any of you get any ideas. Now, but going back to if T-Rex, Chrysalis, and Cozy Glow, here's the thing: Chrysalis is never gonna settle with her hive, and they've moved beyond her. She is non-entity to them. I think the best hope that triad rather would have is T-Rex reconciles with his brother, and okay, if they forswear villainy, or at least they just say, you know what, we're done. We just want some peace and to not be imprisoned for a change. Uh, T-Rex going home and offering Chrysalis and Cozy refuge, sanctuary there. That's at this point, I think that's the best case scenario they could hope for. I've I would rather enjoy it if Scorpan came to Equestria and was like, "Wait a minute, I never agreed to this. Why is my brother a statue? And why did you put him in the garden? Who does that?"
But have you seen what he did?
I saw what he did, but then it's like, well, it's kind of like when they had the Storm King's remains at their big party. It's like, hang on, you are technically parading a corpse.
Corpse, nothing.
Except that his eyes were still moving. So it's like, oh, we're looking at some eternal damnation right now.
Oh, boys. I got a question from Lag. He asks, how would you two feel if Gen 5 aimed the Equestria girls at older demographic, basically going from Y7 to Y14, or would you dread it?
Didn't they kind of go a little older? I mean, there was more focus on relationships. Uh,
Did it?
just a little bit. I mean, both
Um,
Twilights had a crush. Uh, well, poor Flash never really got to evolve once he developed a crush on Sunset. I can't
mm,
say that they tackled more adult themes. Eh, maybe it wasn't all that more mature. I guess I've become how do I put it, imperceptive of what counts as legitimate for a certain age group. Case in point, I thought Tanks for the Memories did a really great job talking about the grieving process without ever once mentioning the actual term death. Now,
mm-hmm.
Equestria Girls never tackled anything as heavy as the danger, the concept of mortality, or I don't know. In high school, one would think substance abuse is an important topic to cover. They never did that, unless there was some really clever magical metaphor that I was missing.
Hmm. Feels that way. I mean, I'm not sure. Not sure. Sorry, reading through questions. Uh, here's one from Eva. Why didn't Discord face any kind of consequences in the season finale?
Uh, uh, well, okay, I guess that depends whose consequences. I mean, he did wind up temporarily enslaved and humiliated,
Mm-hmm.
though he never really faced a consequence for interfering with the villain's reformations. I mean, let's face it, their lives might have gone differently if they'd never met and reinforced one another's worst traits. So,
Hmm.
Honestly, if I were carrying things forward, I'd have Twilight Commission Discord. Okay, you help make this mess. You're going to help clean it up, and he's in charge of their reformation, or at least attempting
Uh,
a reformation.
would you want Discord to do that? I mean, no, stay far away as possible.
The hesitation is certainly understandable, but also given his ability to manipulate a scenario to get others to realize something, could he not work at it and actually be very effective in a chaotic reformation? Sort of a ghost of Christmas past, present, and future rolled into one.
Kind of, but at the same time too, he is an entity of chaos, and he's just there to have fun. So if the thing that he's doing is not fun or chaotic, then I don't think he's getting anything out of it.
Oh, but Norman, chaos is a ladder.
Oh no. But honestly, like if you really think about it, right? Think about him hanging out with Big Mac and Spike and playing D&D. Why does he enjoy doing that? Because, well, when you think about it, D&D is full of chaos. You got no idea what's going to happen. It's the roll of the die. You need a 20. You need at least a passing point of 5. You get a 1 critical fail. So those kind of chaotic things or unforetold or uncontrollable things excite him.
Uh-oh.
You? What up?
I just looked over. I must have had this highlighted when I did a color selection.
Oh no.
I've turned my train station into a disgusting mess. Let's see if I can how far back I
Oh
can
no, it's
undo it.
black.
Yes, it's black. It's back in black. I can't get my voice that high a pitch. Whoa.
With practice you can, Silver. While you fix your mess there, um, there's one here from. Give me a second. I saw a really good one. Dang it. Where? Okay, yeah. Uh, from Yasmin.
Yasmin?
They ask, have you seen the Tales of Arcadia series on Netflix? It's a series of 3 shows that are interconnected. It's a really great show.
Mm.
Personally, for me, I have not because Netflix is not one of my things that I watch often. What about you, Silva?
I've not seen it. Tales of Arcadia. I played a game called Skies of Arcadia years ago.
Mm.
It was a really well done RPG. Uh, but I can't say Tales of Arcadia. You've intrigued me. But then again, it seems like every stream I find about some other show I haven't watched. Meanwhile, like, even in the distance, I can hear Sweetie Bloom screaming, "Go watch Hamilton!"
No, never.
At this point, it's becoming a cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh.
I have a question for you from Kamodra
Mhm.
Steel.
Mm.
Do you know about SMILE?
Mm. I heard of it, but I'm not 100% sure. What is it?
Well, so and so and yada yada, agents of. Does that ring any bells?
Oh,
Actually,
the one that uh I forget pony name. Bonbon. Bonbonin?
yes. Lyra and Bonbon, agents of Smile.
Ah.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised they haven't pursued like at least a sequel book of that.
Oh, they haven't commissioned GM Barrow, so that sucks.
Well, who knows? Honestly, I wouldn't mind if they threw a little bit more in. It's a pretty interesting idea. A secret agent living in Ponyville, which explains why her voice has changed all the time. And
Yeah.
the funny thing is, does she keep doing that even after?
Yeah, but still, it's one of her quirks.
I always kind of liked the explanation as handed down by a Tumblr blog. It was a sort of an ask blog of Pound and Pumpkin Cake in their foalhood. Not
Mm.
babies anymore, uh, but still young. They put forth that there were actually multiple Bonnie, Bonita, Bontilda, all of the
Oh,
different
that one.
ponies, same look, different voices, and it was
Oh, do you remember the? Sorry, go ahead. Sorry,
well,
finish
just
that
that
thought.
it was maddening for Mr. Cake to go and ask anything of them.
Do you remember the Tumblr blog Bonpan?
I don't recall hearing about this, but I hear pun, and I'm going to be thoroughly outraged if I missed out on a pun blog.
It's basically Bonbon, but it's insert Bon with puns. Like I forgot, but it was really good. Like oh man, it was funny. And it was cringeworthy too. It was like I can't believe you did this. Let me
I
see if I can find it.
I am shocked and appalled. No one has alerted me this sooner. What has? Why have I only found about this now? Ah, treachery, sadness, rage.
Uh, oh man, it could be one of those old blogs thing that
Negative musical consequences.
I can't find it. It's been so long. Maybe the chat has no way to find it or what I'm talking about.
As if anyone has heard about this bon pun, do let us know. I'm intrigued and perhaps a little outraged.
Jonah asked, since we're talking about the comic season 10, is there any episode that you think deserve to be followed up or even criticized in the comic?
Honestly, pretty much every school episode, I still would love to see the main six actually be competent teachers. And
Oh,
honestly,
that's going to be a hard one.
checking in on the school after Twilight is not a bad idea. Would her friends still want to teach? Would Starlight update the place to be more her own style?
That's true. I would like to see that too. I mean, I haven't read any of the season 10s yet, but what do you think?
Well, there's that. I wouldn't mind checking back on Le Kirins to see how they're doing. I mean, Kirins eventually join Equestria. Well, technically they're part of Equestria, but they just seem very isolated. So what was that
Mm,
like? Also, I freely admit pandering to the fans a little by bringing back more Kirin.
true. Kirins are awesome. Kirins are awesome. I mean, for me personally, I would like to see a follow up on the Griffins and how they're doing, because well, we know that they live in a dump, and after the whole uh I won't say war, but the whole saving of Equestria, are they going to uh, work together with Equestria to make their nation better and whatnot? That is something worth checking out. Oh God, Grim Wolf. I think he knows what I'm saying. Like one of the puns was bonjour.
Oh, yes, how have I not found out about this sooner? Oh, the night is ruined.
Grim, could you get us the link to the page if it's still up? Like I want to check it out.
Oh, the sadness. Oh, the melodrama.
Oh
Uh,
man, yeah, yeah.
let's see. I've been seeing a question from Sniper Nighter.
Mhm.
What villain do you actually hate? Not just funny hate, but like not even love to hate. You just genuinely don't like, but you still respect.
Mm. So you want to answer or me?
Well, I can start us off.
Oh, go ahead.
Already, I will say Light from Death Note.
Wait, isn't he the hero?
He is the protagonist, but he's most certainly not a hero. I consider him a villain.
Oh,
As
really? No.
well, first off, look at how power corrupts him. Not only is he not only is he killing people who are trying to do their jobs, police. He's actually very smug about it. He's actually loves to hit them with that sarcastic grin, that condescension. He wants you to know he's won. Despite his marvelous intelligence, he is actually very petulant. And but
Hmm.
I kind of respect him, one, because he is clever. There's no denying that he's very clever in how he goes about things. He's also a great foil, or a dark mirror to our own philosophies. I mean, there's a scene in the anime where he directly addresses, "Oh, we say killing is wrong, but then what do you do when you have the means at your disposal?" It's like we say things out of principle because it's almost something we're taught from an early age. But once you are legitimately tested in those beliefs, it's kind of scary what goes through your head. And
Yeah, that's the. Sorry, go ahead.
that's the mark of a really good villain, when they cause you to second guess or reevaluate your beliefs.
Yeah, the moral quandary where, if we all say that we won't steal money from the bank, but if we have the power option without no consequences, would we do it?
But I nevertheless do consider him a villain, because even if he were using that power to take down, punish evil people, even Ryuk says it. If you do that, then the only terrible person left in the world is you. And Light
True.
couldn't even comprehend that.
Okay, that is a good writing there. That's good writing there. Little Heart Studios asks. Oh, sorry. Before I answer my thing, I'm gonna ask you this. What's your favorite zoo? Little Heart Studio is Toronto Zoo.
Aha. Well, I confess I don't have a lot of zoo experience. I mostly know my local zoo, which had recently had a lion cub. So
Oh, that's cute.
we're pretty big fans of that.
Yeah. So for me, my villain. Oh wow. The more I think about it, like villains that I think that are bad and I kind of like. I'm trying to think about this one, and probably, hmm, man, this is one of those things where I don't have a good answer for it. Hmm, I'm thinking.
Oh, maybe you like Betty
Hmm,
from Kung Fu Hustle. I I'm a magician. Now you have a red shirt. Now white shirt. Back to red. See, all I gotta do is
uh,
bring in Kung Fu Hustle, and I get him giggling.
uh, Kung Pao actually.
Oh yes, sorry, I think I'm getting my parodies mixed up. It's Kung Pao into
Hmm.
the fist. Wee wee wee. Yeah.
Was Hmm. So yeah. I'll just say Dio. Dio is prob- Dio is just despicable. Like you hate him, but you really like him. Like he is one of those bad guys that are oozing with charisma. And one of the stupidest things that he ever did, once you know how once you know how his power works, is just well, that one scene with Pornalev. And I'm gonna leave it there because if I say anything more, it'll be spoilers. And JoJo Part 3 is a show that I want people to watch.
Oh, I need to introduce you to my friends Cruel Cocaine and Crystalage Bloodborne. They talk about JoJo's, and it is truly its own language. I need a translator to know what in the hey they're talking about.
Yep. Especially when especially when people think about JoJo, or when the die-hard fans look at JoJo, is Araki, the creator of the show. It's just his playlist, because most of the characters and the powers are just band names or songs. Like, there's a bad guy in part 4 called Aerosmith,
Nice.
or in part 5, Notorious B.I.G.
No, no, notorious.
So basically, it's just his playlist and what he likes. Like, you can really see the progression of his tastes. Like, oh, this one is Black Sabbath, and going on, it's more rap and whatnot. So it's like, oh wow, okay, that's fun.
If we ever hit a band character named Linkin Park, we know he's going through a dark phase. Though,
Probably, I don't know.
no, respects to Linkin Park, their lead singer is no longer with us.
Yeah, that's sad.
Anyway, so I managed to bum us out, which is apparently my penchant.
Wee,
Yes, yes, we are like there's no tomorrow.
wee. I'm trying to look at questions here. Sorry. Sanzo. Question, Sanzo. Was it a good idea for Nicole DeBunk to be? Oh wow. I'm reading questions. I'm confused. Give me a second. Was it a good idea for?
Well, I'll say this to everyone while Norman reads this question. Oh, uh-oh.
Ah,
Uh,
sorry. Go ahead.
I think yeah, there it is. Looking at all these train station screenshots, it always drives me a little nuts how modular Ponyville is. Like, several of these shots, okay, you get it, but then all of a sudden, oh, random bell clock tower with bell. Oh, that's nice. Where'd you come from? Oh, over here. Let's see. I think there was another distant shot. Well, I mean, this one, it's in the middle of town. That's probably not a good idea. This looks like water, but it's not because Twilight is clearly walking on it. And it just seems like the landscape of Ponyville is always turning just a little. And who the hey are these two? Obviously crystal ponies. But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
they seem rather uniquely designed to just be background characters. Is this a reference? Is this someone I don't
They're on
recognize?
vacation.
Is
They're
this
on
someone I
vacation.
don't recognize? I have a hard time picturing, oh, I'm so bored with my life at this beautiful crystal empire. Let's go somewhere boring and podunkish, like, I don't know, Ponyville. And that's what they probably sound like.
I mean, probably they're just there to check out the school of friendship, because they have a full coming or whatever it is, and they're checking things out. And with the landscape and whatnot, I blame the people who are playing the game of games. Just imagine they're putting train stations everywhere, and then just putting clock towers willy nilly.
You get a train station and you get a train station. But yeah, like, okay, here we go. This screenshot right here. I believe this is growing up is hard to do. Emptiness. Just like two lampposts. But then, same episode. Where's this coming from? What's this noise? So then it's always a judgment call. How much do I want to include? Well, someone was kind enough to support me on Le Patreon. I would rather be guilty of giving too much than too little. So I go for the big background approach. Plus, then I can make that available to other folks. But I'm just like, come on.
That's, but still, that. But still, it feels like somebody playing the game of game. Oh no, I don't like this house here. Dismantle it and move it to another location.
I did that with Jasper Pie's Pizzeria once when he refused me service.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I moved.
The question from Eva. Sorry.
Oh no, I just moved it to an entire different biome. Anyway,
Right. Okay. The question is: was it a good idea for Nicole DeBunk to handle the reins for season 8 and 9, or should it have been given to Megan McCartney?
hmm. Norman, do you want to tackle this first?
Okay. In all honesty, I don't know. It feels like it was an okay show. How do I put this? Overall, it was okay. I don't see any problems. Okay, obviously with some of the students and whatnot, but it feels okay. Like if I don't know how to say this because if you give it to Megan, would it still be the same? Would it handle differently? I mean, it's one of those things where what's going is there going to be any difference? Like, how is the difference going to be, and so on?
Mm. Honestly, I can't say if it was good or bad. I've noticed people try to assign the quality to one person when even when it's a collaborative effort. Sure, one person is the respondent superior. They're the captain on this ship. They take ultimate responsibility, but at the same time, I think deep down you know if someone else was had their own ideas or their own style. It's like when Meriwether Williams hit the scene with Mysterious Mare do Well and a couple other episodes, and when you saw Meriwether Williams was writing this episode, people would immediately go, "Ah, oh, this is gonna be awful. Oh, I'm gonna hate this." Yada yada. And I eventually grew a distaste for that approach to the point where I stopped paying attention to who made this or who wrote it. I'll celebrate events like Amy Keating Rogers with her final episode. Uh, dang it, the Countess.
CMC, if I remember right.
Actually, I thought it was Countess Coco Cabana.
Oh, really? I thought it was the CMC getting the killing marks. It was a really good send off.
Was it? Oh my! Well, I'll need to double check then. But either way, I will celebrate if it's like a fond farewell. But usually, I'm not gonna judge the person while talking about the work. I just want to talk about the work. What worked, what succeeded, what struggled. Uh, gonna risk. There's a YouTuber called The Critical Drinker. I've been intrigued by some of his videos, but I was disillusioned just as quickly as he would constantly declare the production staff untalented or basically, I think calling them parasites would be an appropriate
Oh.
description. He really lays into the production teams. And I'm not a fan of that style because now you're not talking about the story or its ideas, you're casting judgment on people. And personally,
Yeah.
I think that's a very dark way to go.
Oh, by the way, you're correct, Silver. The main attraction was the last one that Amy written.
The main attraction. Okay, there we go. So if you say it's one thing to say I really dislike this episode. I thought the messages were harmful, the characters didn't weren't believable, and the message felt very shoehorned in. All of that is within the context of the episode. If suddenly you say, oh, this staff doesn't know what they're doing, they're just a bunch of lazy, talentless hacks who get by on a just are in this for a paycheck. You may not like the work, but I don't know these people, and I feel like I'm missing that critical
Yeah.
information. So who are we to render judgment on that score? I'll just talk
Yeah,
about
that's
the
not
episode.
that's not fair. I mean, as reviewers, well, I won't say I'm a reviewer, but as people who review shows, we're here just to review the quality of said episode. So if the episode, like the Mr. Duel, if I remember right, I kind of am okay with it, but it had its problems, but it was an okay episode. But if you were to say the writer was a hack and whatnot, I mean, that's not nice. Maybe they're not great with ponies, but they're awesome at other things. Maybe they did a Batman episode once.
Well, they even threw in some homages to Batman there. I was less okay with Mare Duell, though. Given what came down the pipe later, it almost seems quaint by comparison now.
Mm-hmm. True, true. And I think like for me when we're okay, if we're gonna criticize creators or the name behind the work, probably artists from the comics. Like there are some people whose art style do not match or do not work well in the comics, and we have a few here and there, but that's kind of like okay, it's just his art style. We'll see how it progresses as time goes on. And usually, they have a few, and suddenly they disappear, meaning that IDW don't want them anymore. And okay, who are we to say that we do not like them or find their work terrible? Because in the end, they're still getting paid.
Well, I mean, we are the people who consume the media. We have a right to say I didn't enjoy this.
Oh yeah, we have the right to say that, but in the end, it's the company that is giving the person the paycheck and giving them the okay. Because you have to remember that with every production work, they have to go through the back end and show their work to the well. In this case, since we're talking about comics, they have to show their work to IDW. IDW has to give it the okay before they move on to the next step, and so on and so on. Because if let's just say Katie Cook wrote something that is not PC and okayed it, we all be complaining to well who now Katie Cook saying that oh you did a terrible job at writing blah 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 blah. And yes, that's true, but at the same time too IDW is also to blame because they greenlit it.
Agree with that? Or also, there's another element. There were some issues by Katie Cook that I didn't enjoy, especially the good, the bad, and the ponies. What I learned years later is that she was going through some very personal turmoil. I think
Oh
possibly
no.
family member passing away. I don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's a certainty, but that's an element in this. There's so much more going on
Mm-hmm.
than we know. It's why it's you can you really judge a person when you don't know the full story behind what they're going through. You can judge the product, but then I feel like you it's very easy to overstep our the bounds. Because honestly, who's going
Yeah.
to be able to focus on writing a comic book when they're going through this personal, apparently very difficult turmoil? In fact, I bet
Yeah, and
it.
this
Sorry,
okay.
it begs the question: why was she forced to keep working on this? Would it not have been wiser to pass the torch to someone else for a time?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And this reminds me of what Zack Snyder when he was doing uh Batman versus Superman, or was it Justice League? Yeah, Justice League, I think. Yeah, like in the middle of production, one of his family members passed away, and he had to pass the torch to who was that person that did the Marvel movies, or
Uh,
was it Lens Flare guy?
it's like, oh gosh, I'm so bad with production names. Ryan Johnson? No.
No, I think the guy that did Star Trek. But so he passed it on to them, and yeah, it was okay. It had that funny thing, but in the end, fans didn't like it because it was not their DC and so on, blah 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 blah. And now they're remaking it with 4 hours of Justice League on HBO Go.
Speaking of DC characters, at least there's the question of do we like Christopher Lee?
Christopher Lee, he is.
I want to make sure I don't get things. Well, actually, he's probably been in some DC. No, Christopher Lee. He played
Oh,
Sauron, Count Dooku, Saruman, not Sauron. Uh, yeah, he's well. One, I really love his work. Funny thing is that I mostly know him by his characters.
Yes, I see him. Oh, also played James Bond. Okay.
There we go. But for some reason,
Oh,
I think I was thinking of Christopher Reeves. That's why I said. That's why I made the DC connection.
so was it Reeve or Lee?
Well, the question was, do we like Christopher Lee?
Uh, on a personal note, I don't really have a strong dislike or like. I mean, he's neutral to me. I remember him playing the bad guy in the Lord of the Rings, and also that one guy from Star Wars. So that's about it.
That actually would be a funny curse. You're neutral to me. You know, you're not quite dead to me. You're not endeared to me. You're just neutral to me. And I think that insult would only work against someone who really wanted to be liked. Oh no, I'm only neutral. If I don't, if I don't make
It's
it, tell my wife
okay.
hello.
Well, by the way, Silver, I've been hanging on this question for a bit now. There's two, so I'm just gonna ask. From Nikki W, they ask, have you heard of Dragonheart?
I mean, isn't that the? Oh dang it, Bowen. No, it wasn't. No, Draco
Oh, that
was voiced
one.
by Sean Connery. And
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
so I know that Dragonheart.
I think that is it because from googling it, that's the first thing that popped up.
Okay, well, I do deserve a sequel. It was Dragonheart, not because the movie was bad, but because The Last Dragon. It's kind of final in its presentation, and yet they took one of the actors from Malcolm in the Middle and had him make friends with the last dragon, which was a kid.
I mean,
It was
I
awful.
mean, it could be this. Oh, Dragonheart, the last dragon. Dragonheart 2, the discovery of more dragons. Dragonheart 3, most of them are dead now.
Dragonheart 4. He's not dead. He's just rested.
Yeah. Oh, my favorite, the G.I. Joe one. Oh, he's just sleeping.
Oh, nah. That Duke was my favorite character. Seeing it, being a little kid and seeing him take a snake to the heart is like, ah! It's worse than Optimus
I mean,
Prime
he's just
dying.
sleeping.
He's
He's
just
just sleeping, Silver.
he's yes, he's sleeping. Wink. I mean,
Another one from Preston. Would you marry Luna? I'm guessing Princess Luna.
well, I mean, actually, that requires clarification. There's also the Sailor Moon cat Luna, which no, I wouldn't marry her. I.e., she is a cat. But if it's Princess Luna, I wouldn't be opposed to it if it was mutually agreed upon and beneficial. Yes, I phrased that in
Yeah,
probably the most.
that's your answer.
I phrased that in the most clinical way I could.
In short, yeah. Now I can scroll down to more questions.
You were holding on to a question from Ender Pup, but I don't know if Ender rejoined
Oh,
us.
yeah. I don't see him. I'm guessing he's there in the background eating. And the question was, if I remember right, what was the dumbest thing I ever did?
Ooh,
Oh,
ooh, inquiring
boys.
minds want to know.
Let's see. In all honesty, I do a lot of dumb things that I don't remember. Okay, here's one that kind of drained money.
Mm-mm.
I started playing Magic the Gathering, and money gone now.
Well, that's not really dumb. I mean, that's an investment, sure.
Yes, investment is true, but just imagine like, oh, I want to buy this product. Hey, shopkeeper, put it on my tab. Okay, and then, oh, shopkeeper, how much do I owe you? About 1K. Well,
Well, hey, I've done the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh. I spent way too much money trying to get the cards, and in hindsight, I'd be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But at the time, it was fun. I don't want to
true.
discourage people. I guess really the thing is, don't worry if you don't have all the best cards. part of the honestly, I found one of the worst things that can happen to those is games is when there's a market to buy the best cards.
Oh man, don't even get me started on that. Like, in all honesty, how do I put this? In all honesty, when the feeling of cracking packs, as they say, is exhilarating. Just opening the packs, looking at the cards, and until you go to the rare slot and discovering that, oh my god, your rare is worth $80, and you just paid $10 for the pack. That's a net worth of $70. Oh my god, that's awesome.
Honestly, I never had that much luck.
Yeah,
Uh,
all my favorite is this rare is trash. 1 year later, oh my god, that trash card is $10 now.
by the way, I'm going to pause real quick just to gripe again about the show
Mm-hmm.
design. If I zoom in on this, you see a very clear box and shapes that I've been going over, but I just realized looking over here, they changed the layout. How dare they? I mean, what do I go with here? What do I do, Norman? There's so many choices, life and death. Oh, the pressure. But this,
It's one of those things where I appreciate 3D graphics now, or 3D animation, because they're working with assets, and they're working with
ooh,
layouts that are sorry.
he's talking about assets.
No, but they're working with things that are already built, so they just animate around it. So you will have consistency in terms of how they how the everything looks like. It's like a set. Like they build the set and it's already there. Just insert characters here and move them.
It's like asset. But man,
Oh, you.
yes, me. But y'all, I am a fan of well, come on, I've made it my calling sign. Continuity. So what do I do when the show
Yay.
itself won't respect the continuity of the look? I mean, it's different when like Zakura, her home gets an upgrade, or Rainbow Dash's house looks different. But this is a minor element. Why is it being changed?
And
And I don't want to be the
that's true.
I don't want to be the consummate fanboy. No change. I don't like change. Me 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 me.
Uh,
Whee!
yeah.
Well, I'll have to
That's hard. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll have to figure this out. I'm more inclined to keep the later look because the show really solidified in the later seasons. More
Mm.
consistent visuals.
Silver, got a question from Royal Silver.
Royal Silver.
They ask,
Oh, it's trying to one up
yes,
me.
they ask, do you think it would be awesome if they was a crossover of Equestria Girl and DC Superhero Girls?
That would be interesting. I mean, DC superheroes are usually super powerful. So a crossover is hard because they're borderline a divine pantheon themselves. But the magic powers of Equestria Girls could put them on similar footing. And DC, I admit I haven't gotten to see a lot of DC superheroes, but Lauren Faust's style and approach of super energetic and bubbly or really serious characters, I think they would blend well together. My only thing is that if Lauren is still working on DC superheroes, would Equestria Girls be an unhappy encounter? As I understand it, there was a lot of conflict between her and Hasbro about making these, as they were. It was basically the merchandising aspect that Lauren wanted to avoid in the show.
Yeah, and how do I put this? They didn't part ways amicably. Like they were some, how to put this? They were some friction in between them.
I can imagine. I can't pretend to know what it's like to have that conflict or to have the chance to work on this show, and yet the pressure to make toys is.
Yeah. Oh God.
I mean, I'm still surprised to learn. I was surprised when I first learned Cadence was originally intended to be a unicorn.
I thought it was a Pegasus. No.
Well, in the books, they say that she was a Pegasus before she ascended to Alicorn. But as far as I know, in the early planning stages of Candlelit Wedding, Cadence was a unicorn.
Oh wow. That's one of those cases where um they're breaking canon. Oh my head. Ah, what does this mean?
Well, when suddenly there's a third Alicorn, it's like, whoa, 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 where's this coming from? And I always find it
Oh
funny
God.
for the first 4 seasons of the show. If you count Luna's return, we had a new Alicorn per season. Imagine if they had kept that trend up for every season.
Oh, we have 9 alicorns. Oh God.
9 Alicorns leaping.
No, no, no.
Oh, wait, I
Oh
forgot that you
God.
could capture that. 9 Alicorns in need of rescuing.
Yeah, 9. Go ahead, heroes.
Oh, Little
Ah,
Heart
boys.
Studios is calling it a day, so have a good rest.
All right, 9. What time is it for you, Silva?
It is just shy of 7:30.
And for the people in the Eastern, it's 9. All right, cool.
Oh, question from Preston Cox: would Twilight Sparkle team up with Luke Skywalker? Most certainly, but only the non. What do I put it? Not the Rey trilogy Luke Skywalker. That I don't even recognize Luke in that.
He gave up.
He gave up. There's been. She would go with the younger Luke Skywalker as a teammate. Actually, they're both kind of idealistic. They both were swept into conflicts far larger than they could ever imagine. They both had to believe in others who folks would say were irredeemable. Luke and Vader, Twilight in Discord. And yeah, I could see them really respecting one another. Although Luke would probably have his patience tested more if Twilight got onto one of her nerdy geek outs. Oh my god, you moved that with your mind and you didn't even have to use a horn? Oh my god, let me study you. Ask 50 questions, yada yada yada.
And then it all could be explained by germs in your blood cells.
Oh man. Oh, Norman. You're hitting where the wounds are still raw decades later. Oh, Norman, you do not pull your punches.
Yeah. Oh, was it the Fae? Oh my, I forgot which one.
Is it the Fae? Sorry?
Yeah, I'm hearing like, okay, was it the Fae that? Oh wow, I don't remember.
I'm
Like
sorry, are
that
you mean
the
Fae as in
note.
mythical? What?
I don't know. Like I heard that midichlorians was determined by phase. Oh, man, I don't know.
I'm not sure what you
But
mean by
explaining,
phase.
yeah, yeah, I don't know too. It's one of those things where I don't really quite understand that aspect. All I know is germs.
I always liken them to like mitochondria in the blood in our blood cells, but yeah, they're just tiny creatures that live in our blood and can apparently be used to conceive a child. Cause yeah, virgin birth Anakin.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh God.
Man, this was
There's-
weird. Oh dear, I'm getting on my nerd rants.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. With the introduction of the more recent trilogy, folks have taken a kinder view of the prequel trilogy now. And I'm of the mind that no, they both draw a lot of criticism, valid criticism in my eyes, for different reasons. But let's also be fair that the original trilogy was not without its melodrama,
Hiccups.
its hiccups, its really dumb ideas, and yet it was charming, maybe because it came first, and maybe because it didn't have expectations.
It was a trailblazer. It was a trendsetter.
It was, and as a result, I think a much more leeway is given to its weaker aspects. The others don't have that; they are trapped in its shadow. Or in the case
Yeah.
of the most recent trilogy, it's trapped in production hell. Let's
But
have
in,
this
in
director. No, let's have this director. Oh, let's get the other one back.
but when you really think about it, and when you really see Star Wars now, like now with the Mandalorian, like it's going well. It's great. And the thing is, I think most of the audience are tired of Jedi's and Sith or whatever they want to call them, space wizards. They're tired of the space wizard aspects. Like you have a lot to work with here. Like you have what the Mandalorians, the um, aliens with their hair and whatnot. I forgot what they're called. And you have what the if you go to Kotor, there's the exchange and whatnot. You could bring them back. I mean, there's a lot of other aspects to Star Wars other than space wizards.
It's true. Although let's also be honest that even the Mandalorian features some space wizards.
Yeah, true. Well, near the end or what? I mean, but still, it's one of those things where yes, you at least have to have some space wizards in your Star Wars. If not, it's not Star Wars.
Hey, you got space wizards in my Star Wars. Oh yeah, well you got Star Wars in my space wizards.
Hmm.
Hey,
But
I'm right
still,
here.
yeah. But still, it's one of those things where a nice balance would be great. Like, I think they try to do it with the in between movies, like what Rogue One. Rogue One was fun.
Well, let's be honest. I loved Rogue One for its climax. Best starfighter space battle I'd seen in years.
Hmm.
But and K2SO. Let's
Yeah.
like one of the best droids.
Oh, you're talking about best droids. Oh man, you should really play KOTOR. You'll have a liking for HK-47.
Oh, I did play. I played the original Kotor. Statement.
Then you do know about HK-47.
Direct threat.
uh,
I'm going to enjoy ripping you piece by meaty piece, flesh bag.
oh yeah. That's AK. Did you play KOTOR too?
I did, though I couldn't really enjoy it as much.
But there was more AKs, and those are just fun.
And like HK was actually indignant that someone was crimping his style.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but sorry.
I worry we've ignored folks' questions.
Yeah. Sorry.
Let's
But
see.
it's Star Wars. Like you have to give a little bit of time on Star Wars because Star Wars is fun to talk about.
Let's see here. Royal Silver wondered, do you think the monster Grendel from Beowulf would be more fitting dangerous villain in the MLP finale?
Hmm.
Grendel was mostly a creature of violence, as far as I knew, and a test of courage, what many could not handle. I can't say in a show about emotion and strength of bonds, Grendel, as he's known in the legend, wouldn't have been a great match as it's a question of strength and usually going at it solo. And yet Grendel is so malicious, so monstrous. This isn't something you can befriend. It's not a natural part of the world. Unless you go with that weird CG Beowulf where they start to, well, they make other implications, and you're just like, what are you doing?
Oh
What?
no.
What? What? What do you say? No, God, no.
I don't know. If you were to put any other villains for into the MLP with lore, I don't know. I'm just thinking right now, like, what kind of villain would be, well, quote unquote, better for MLP to end out the season? Hmm.
Well, this might actually tie into something. Earlier, there was a question: would Bahamut have been a
Oh,
better
okay.
dragon lord than Dragon Lord Ember? Now, I think that they're probably thinking Bahamut from Final Fantasy, even though Bahamut is actually a mythological figure, well predating Final Fantasy. Let's see here.
Okay, I'll just read something from Wiki, and the Wiki says, this is one of those pictures I'm seeing. Uh, the fish Bahamut carries on its back the giant bull, and on the green something 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 something. Yeah, so it's like Bahamut is a fish.
Oh, that means he's on an entirely different scale.
Right? Yep.
Let's see here.
The fish says whale Bahamut. Yep.
Well, so basically, a
So,
titanic creature nonetheless.
mm-hmm.
But it may
But okay, sorry, go ahead.
talking about alternate villains. There's another rather famous dragon, I think mostly known through D&D as Tiamat,
Ooh.
who is actually a goddess. The five-headed dragon is oh, excuse me. The five-headed dragon is an alternate form. She becomes the dragon of chaos so that well, basically her children slay her and build a new world. It's sort of you letting go of the the mother you knew in order to embrace the world. And a parent is equal
Mm.
parts order and chaos.
So
So,
basically, if this were to be a better Dragon Lord, probably.
well, I'm thinking more of a final villain. If you had a figure, in all honesty, if we were going down that road, wouldn't it be interesting if Celestia became a five-headed dragon and this was her farewell? But then that would mean killing
Mm.
Celestia, and yeah, good luck with that in a show.
Yeah, but you could always tweak it. Okay, you can always tweak it. Okay, let's just say, you know what? I'm gonna go a reach around for a very old show, and that's X-Men Evolution.
That's your old show? Son, I watched
It's
the original X-Men cartoon on Fox. I watched Pride of the X-Men, a failed pilot. You call it that a really old show? You are talking to an oldie right here, bud.
Give me a second. I want to see when that came out
X-Men
because
Evolution, that was
uh,
late 90s?
it's 20 years, Silver.
Yes, and I'm old. We've established this. Huzzah!
Yes. And X-Men Evolution is, well, legal. in one case of
What?
point.
Why do we keep coming back to this legal thing? I'm getting very.
I don't know. No, but seriously, X-Men Evolution. Spoiler warnings if you haven't seen it yet.
It's
Um,
it's been around for a
Apocalypse.
while. You've got no excuses.
Yes, Apocalypse. Quote unquote. Uh, enlists a few of the stronger mutants to work for him to kind of take over the world. Of course. So wouldn't it be interesting if there is a big bad in the MLP that did that? Recruit Celestia, Luna, Cadence, maybe even Twilight, and some other characters to, well, no, maybe the four princesses, yeah, four horsemen and so on, blah blah blah. So why not recruit them to become the, what you call this, herald of doom and whatnot? And it's up to the, I mean, six Discord and student and so on, or even the citizens of Equestria and beyond, to save them and also save the universe.
That'd be interesting, but I would question how would a villain persuade them? I mean, Apocalypse. Well, okay. As I recall, he brainwashed characters in X-Men Evolution, and he forcibly converted them in the Fox Kids X-Men, which was older than X-Men Evolution. I want that on the record. I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm an oldie but a goodie.
I too did saw it.
But
I saw too on TV. I remember that, and I hated Cyclops.
okay, well, wow, there's a whole other discussion there. I was actually more a fan of Cyclops than Wolverine because I don't go for the anti-hero. But
Okay,
Cyclops
I too. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Cyclops has developed a much different reputation since then.
Okay, back then Cyclops old school was okay until Jean died, quote unquote, and that got like, oh god, could you move on, hero guy? I don't want to see a mopey hero. Oh god, Jean, could you move on? Get on with it.
Yeah. Get on with it. Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Anyway,
You're saying Silver?
well, I'm sorry, I derailed us talking about Cyclops and how he became a jerk, but basically, Apocalypse, as far as I know, always strong armed someone. It wasn't until the X-Men movies that he sought out individuals who were angry at the world and manipulated that anger to make them want to join.
And yeah, that makes sense, and that's a good way. I mean, for MLP, probably brainwash.
So brainwashing the four princesses. Now,
Yeah. Oh,
isn't this
remember. Sorry, I think I know where we're going, but wouldn't it be similar to the Chaos? What's the name again? Not
Cosmos?
Chaos.
Yes,
Yes,
we're,
Cosmo.
we're of the same mind.
Yeah, because that would be a great ending, by the way. Like, I think one of the few reasons that I didn't like the Cosmo arc was it was too mean spirited.
How so?
Because when you look at the story, Cosmos was just a big jerk, and I feel like Cosmo is a step above the other villains. Like the other villains were straightforward in their evilry, but Cosmo here was manipulative, was kind of a real big jerk, and the end game was to get my Discord poo poo back to me so we can bring chaos. Mwah.
And malice.
Yeah.
I did like the spirit of malice approach.
Yeah, true. But what do you think? Like, could that be a good plan for the series or the for the cartoon?
I guess actually, it's kind of funny turning ponies into heralds or villains. That is actually kind of what the G1 T-Rex did.
I would say if it ain't broke, don't call this? Fix it.
Oh, there you go. It's an interesting idea. I feel like it would. We basically need to see a very different season as a result.
Oh yeah, the build up, like the build up there needs to be there, and I don't know. I find it. Sorry, I find MLP as itself, like the show, has this problem where it tells a good story, but the ending they trip and fall down the stairs.
Oh,
Yes, that.
exactly. But I don't know. I need to actually do a little bit more reading into Tiamat, and the dragon of chaos is one and the same as the mother, the nurturing mother. That puts a lot of things on, turns things on its ears, and honestly, a lot of folks criticize Celestia for, including myself, we've criticized Celestia for really bad plans, like in Twilight's Kingdom. And yet, if the nature of Celestia as a mother figure is to be a little bit of chaos and uncertainty, does it kind of fit then? At the same time, her plans seemed really dumb, especially in that episode.
I don't know. If we're saying like just to make a somehow the quote unquote mother of what Tiamat kind of villain for the show, it has to be one of those series where the planning needs to be good.
From start to finish. And well, let's be honest, My Little Pony. Even I don't think even the staff expected to get more than a season out of it. If only
Yeah.
they knew. If
Oh
someone had,
man.
if you could go back in time and say to them, "Hey, you're gonna get 9 whole seasons. Work with
And
it.
they say, "Oh wow, you're cray cray. Get out of here, person that's crazy. Kick them out."
Wouldn't be the first time it happened."
I got a question for you from 117 Wars Spartan.
War
They
Spartan,
asked,
yes.
"Will you, yes, will you think about doing what Lightning Bliss did and open your own webpage to sell stuff on for your fans?" P.S. Your OC makes me think of Lucky from 1992 cartoon Stunt Dogs. Oh, I remember that one.
Stunt Dogs. I didn't see that one. I wonder if I remind
I
them
need
of
to remember what's.
Stunt Dogs. Huh. Well, the short answer is yes. I have been looking into the Diva website. My main concern is I'm running behind on so many things. Do I have it in me to run a website? I should actually talk to her. Ah, Helsing Ghost 1. Mr. Rex did a video on Tiamat. I will
Hmm.
I will do I'll just pull up a window and have that in reserve for later on this evening. Because oh wow, 719,000 subscribers. I sense
Yay.
maybe it's a kindred spirit in terms of mythological symbols. Well, I'll look into that later. Thank you for letting me know. So, thank you, Helsing Ghost.
Something for you to read. Yay.
Let's see here. Uh, T Marsh 146 wonders what episode of MLP felt at least potential in the show or felt had the least potential in the show or felt filler in your opinion.
Hmm. Which one? Like,
Basically had really low potential and just sort of existed. It doesn't build on anything. It's not really I don't think it really grips you.
I feel like, man, it's been so long since I watched ponies, but I feel like one of those episodes that involves, I'm trying to think, like, there's some, there has to be a character or an episode that feels like this is going nowhere. But I can't remember any because probably it's not memorable at all. Like I feel like most of the what episodes have at least something working for it. Like if I were to say, "Oh, that mod episode was boring," like anything involving mod is boring. But as we go on, oh, mod is working, and oh, Maud is graduating from school or college or university, and oh, she has a boyfriend, and she has a really nice pad, and oh, okay, at least you see her going somewhere. Anything with Trixie is like, oh, she's going nowhere. Oh, she became the bad guy. Oh, she is trying to do good. Oh, she's best friend with uh, Starlight now, and like there is at least something going on with most of the characters, and maybe it's us going into deep thinking about it or just looking at background stuff. I mean, when we take a look see at Bulk Bicep was just one of those ponies that are just he's just there to be funny because of his big huge body and tiny little wings, but somehow it's a really good masseuse. What?
He wears many hats. Many hats. Well, for my 2 cents, I think Some Pony to Watch Over Me was a pretty big filler, but also just not a great romp for Applejack. I mean, well, you introduce some cool things like the Chimera, that Chase album. That thing was freaking cool, especially as it's just a black silhouette in the fire swamp. And Applejack gets to be sort of an action hero for a little bit, but it doesn't really build Apple Bloom up. It doesn't help her age. And then they go to these bayou ponies that just sort of exist. And you're like, wait, what are you all doing there? What possible reason could you have to live in a fire swamp? And aren't you guys just the biggest jerks for asking for this delivery through a fire swamp? I think even Uber Eats drivers would hesitate at that.
I mean, if the tip is huge, why not, right?
That tip, you better be willing to give over your house, which wouldn't be worth much. Got us in a fire swamp!
But I'm just taking a look-see at this episode and seeing that, I mean, it kind of builds up Applejack's, you know what? I see your point. Because, you know what? Any episode that involves Applejack becoming a, whatchamacallit,
Irrational?
forgetful. Yeah, like, one of those episodes becomes like, yeah, it's one of those episodes involving Applejack being a dummy. Like, God, no, not this one again.
Just to tackle some questions from River and, well, first, Blue Griffin, yes. A fire swamp would have ROSs. ROUSs. And River, if you have some examples of your editing history, that's good to have sort of a demo reel to see what you've created in the past. Folks have said to me, Silver, you need to get editors to help lighten the load and get videos out faster. It's like, yeah, you're not wrong, but I'm really controlling.
Yeah, I understand, but also at the same time too, when you hire people, you need to pay them.
Yes.
And money.
Yes.
Flutter Chan, no problem. Like I didn't really plan on creating my pony with the same theme color as Doctor Who's. When I was creating my OC, I just thought that, what color would be great? Brown.
Well, it would. There's nothing that says they're brown. They're ponies with earthy tones and grays. Why not?
I know, but when I created him, I could have done more. But honestly, like, yeah, I could have done more. But like brown, yeah, I could have been rainbow or black and red.
Ugh.
Like I could be emo. But nope. I go for brown.
No, Norman, I will actually praise you for that. I feel that the downfall of many a character and what became a stereotype of OCs is that people tried to maybe do too much more than their character or more than their insight. Now they were trying to look cool, and that's why a lot of people rag on OCs. Which reminds me, I do want to once again. I feel like Iceberg really got a good thing going with his OC. Steady blue.
Yes.
2 stripes run through the mane and tail, so it's a good balance of color. I'm a little surprised that the eyes are also blue. Usually in the show, I find that if it's like a blue coat, then they'll have a warmer eyes or maybe green to help them stand out. Honestly, the most complex thing about this character is the brain on the shield. Because, again, Iceberg is a forensic psychologist.
Oh, cool.
And so that's, one, a very unique profession. But I really want to celebrate that this is not a bland design, but it's very to the point. And it feels like a character who would fit within the show. Granted, I don't know how Equestria would feature in a forensic psychologist. I figured I wasn't sure how to feature this, but I figure if Iceberg is standing on this here train station, I'm gonna have a bunch of weird ponies just going by, and him look, like Screwball, and maybe that pony that barked like a dog for a time. Maybe she suffered a little relapse. Bulk
Okay.
bi. Maybe I'll have like bulk biceps tied to the train tracks for whatever reason, and it's just like,
Okay.
and he's just looking around like, what is wrong with these ponies? See that?
Oh, well, you could just have too many Pinkie Pies.
Oh God, I want him to be confused, not terrified. Too many Pinkie Pies. Oh, the fact that there are two Pinkie Pies in Equestria is enough to chill the blood.
Oh God, no.
Oh,
Let's see. There's a question from Royal Silver again. Big question. Do you think that alicorns were once the ruler of Equestria until, due to their powers, the three pony tribes are really their offsprings with separate parts of them? Hmm.
so basically there was a schism in the Alicorn race, and the three tribes were a result. Honestly, I don't, because
Hmm.
then I feel like Celestia and Luna would be striving to re-achieve that unity, to restore the balance, and get everyone to be an Alicorn. And if everyone's an Alicorn, suddenly it's not special.
Yeah, true that. But we had what, four now? No, five.
Yeah, Flurry Heart makes 5. The first naturally born Alicorn since Equestria's founding. Very, very
Yeah.
legalistic specifics there.
Yeah, but at least that's fascinating on its own accord. Like a lot of questions, a lot of things go on. Like how, why, why?
Well, okay. With the how and Flurry Heart's creation, you see, when a mommy pony and a daddy pony love each other very
La
much.
la 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 la.
I mean,
But no,
I appreciate they said naturally born alicorns.
wait. That means would Celestia and Luna count as natural, or did they ascend?
It's never addressed. We never learned what they are or how they got their start. Twilight was a unicorn who ascended to Alicorn. Cadence was a Pegasus who ascended to Alicorn. I would have found it marvelous if like Celestia had been an Earth pony. What? Why don't Earth ponies get an Alicorn rep? Huh? Huh? What? You think they're not good enough? How dare you?
Um, it's interesting. It's an interesting question. Like, yeah, but still, I don't know. I like the status quo that we have now.
Now,
This one is from Lightning Dashi.
Lightning
Sorry.
Dash. Yes, what's up?
Okay. They ask, who is the most annoying character in MLP?
Annoying.
Mm-hmm.
That, well, I guess that depends on what annoys you. Uh, okay. Part of me is tempted to say I've had frustrations with Cadence because of untapped potential. That's my annoyance, but that doesn't necessarily make her an annoying character. I think Zipper will, or is it Zipper Whirl?
Mm-hmm.
Little princess who,
Oh, that one.
little princess pony who was celebrating her birthday in Philly Vanilli, and much later seemed to calm down and have grown up a little, and her was struggling because her dog didn't want to play the way he used to. So she could be, her enthusiasm could be overdone. I think that's the closest we got to truly annoying. But
Really?
again, annoyance is a perspective. One person finds annoying, others can find beautifully endearing, i.e., Pinkie Pie.
Hmm. Okay, that's interesting because I would have gone for anything that involves Applejack and Rainbow Dash fighting.
Well, that might be an annoying plot point, but is that an annoying pony?
Yeah, I mean, generation, no, season 2 Rainbow Dash was annoying.
Well, yeah, she got some. That was probably her low point in the series. Was after season 2 she became Scootaloo's friend, mentor, coach, and yeah, so yeah, maybe she got all the bad stuff out of the way.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, here's a question. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just thinking Fluttershy got her worst aspects out of the way in season 1 after Swarm of the Century and Bird in the
Really?
Hoof. Well, think about all the things she did wrong in season 1. She brought Parasprites into Ponyville, then kept one to kept the swarm going longer. Then in A Bird in the Hoof, she stole the royal pet. I'm not aware of Flutter. I don't think Fluttershy ever did anything quite so tone deaf afterwards.
Ah,
Now, if you want to say she made bad choices in caring for animals, i.e., making wolves eat vegetarian food, yes, that's a valid point. At the same time, this world doesn't it doesn't always follow real life solutions. Case in point, a snake taking a bite of a cookie doesn't quite work like that. I don't believe snakes
yeah,
have that
no.
powerful a jaw. It's more of their ability to dislocate that jaw. So,
Yeah, and that's why the first issue of the My Little Pony comic was kind of cool or interesting when Fluttershy says, "Oh, nature's fascinating." When the what was it again?
oh, the trihorn bunyip and the chupacabra?
Yeah, and they were fighting, and I don't think so. It was Trihorn Yep, I
No,
think it
it
was
wasn't.
the Jackalope.
Jackalopes, right. And chupacabras.
Yeah, they were fighting, tearing each other apart, and all, the rest of the girls were like cringing or flinching, and Fluttershy is just looking there, looking fascinated by what's going on, and like nothing phased her.
Nothing phases her. It's those moments where Fluttershy is unexpectedly hardcore.
Yep.
All right.
Yes. Like I was saying, there was a question from Marlon. They asked, "Do you think that the Dazzling could have been reformed in the end of Rainbow Rocks?"
Not at the end of Rainbow Rocks. They'd been the villains, they'd been the threat, and Rainbow Rocks was really Sunset Shimmer's ascension, or at least restoration into good graces. Uh, they could be redeemed down the road, maybe even given a chance to go home if they change their tune, pun intended.
Yeah.
But as far as we know, that right now they're still on the lookout for equestrian magic. They still could cause a lot of trouble. But by and large, they've been neutralized as a threat. So, but redemption would come much later. And unfortunately, there's no later for Equestria Girls.
Yeah, and I don't know. The Dazzling seems to be on a roll with what they have, and I feel like if yeah, I'll say this, Equestria Girls is in the hands of the fans now. The fans can do whatever they want and write whatever stories or draw whatever comics they want. Because to me, I feel like the avenue. Well, in fact, MLP-FIM is also in the same boat. Uh, we can do whatever we want. We can create whatever will we can imagine with it because the potential is endless there.
Speaking of potential, there's a question from Blue Griffin
Mm-hmm.
over on Twitch. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
wonder if Flurry being born an Alicorn had something to do with the Crystal Heart. More, well, honestly, it's more statement than question, but it ties into a question I've had for a while. We learned from the Pillars that they planted a seed that became the Tree of Harmony, and it is a sentient being.
Mm-hmm.
I think sentient is there. If the crystal heart doesn't have its own sentience, being an equally powerful magical doodad. But I've often wondered, Cadence is presented in the show as being, or in the franchise, she was a Pegasus born with no memory. And yet she had this natural ability to get for ponies to just become and adore her, to just love her. And I started to wonder if the Crystal Heart knew that that Sombra was about to do something terrible, that the Crystal Empire was in trouble. Could it have sent forth its own fragment to grow in the world and come back to save the Empire?
Oh, that opens up a whole new can of worms.
I think it would be fascinating. The idea that Cadence is a child of the Crystal Heart, and as such, Flurry is its granddaughter. That's just a
It would be
headcanon.
interesting.
It's just a theory, a pony theory.
Oh boy, no.
But I like that
Oh
idea.
boy. So okay. It's one of those ideas that can work if you expand on it and explain a lot of things, but what we're given is nothing or virtually nothing.
Well, again,
Oh, by the way, Rose asked the question: have you seen Thomas and Friends?
oh, Rose, I appreciate you carrying the torch, but we answered earlier in the stream. But Norman, if you want to give like a quick summation.
Yeah, I'll give a brief answer to that question. Yes, but no.
That's very brief and confusing.
Yes.
Kudos.
I'll just say this also. Watched it with my nephew, but didn't really pay attention. Yes.
Let's see here. Well, I do want to point out, I usually keep these streams to about 2 hours because I don't want to demand everyone's time.
Oh.
And the funny thing is, talking with friends, time flies. I mean, 2 hours goes by really fast.
True that. And also, when you have someone who is on the opposite side of the world that doesn't really mind if they go on, like what? It's only 10, it was like 11 a.m. for me. It's like, okay, I'm still gonna go on.
Oh, but then Norman, you've been on the flip side where you've been tired during some of our recordings. It's like, Norman, you need to go to bed, go to sleep, and good night. Rest your head, Norman Sanzo.
Oh, yeah, we're on the opposite side of the table now.
We are, and I still need to work on Pinkie Pie Says Goodnight for, well, tonight.
Yes.
Oh, Pony Life.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no, Pony Life. Pony Life breaks me.
It does. I've worried about the toll it's taking on your soul.
I can take it, but it's one of those episodes. Oh no, it's one of those shows where I seen a better version of you. Why am I? Oh God, no. But I do like. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was about to change the topic. So please say what you like about the Pony Life.
Yeah, I do like how they carry on. Sorry, I do like how they portray some characters in certain ways, like how to put this, like how Fluttershy is a bit more selfish in some cases, or like how Twilight is really into how to put this. Just Twilight is just cray now, and more expressive.
Well, I have very strong opinions on how Fluttershy has been portrayed, especially in her Trail Trotters arc. Good God. But yeah, I can see how Pony Life you might like a presentation, especially in light of with Fluttershy. I find people say, "Oh, I like this Pony Life Fluttershy more because she isn't just shy and afraid every episode. Okay, but she's
Hmm.
also lost that that nurturing and encouraging
Kind
spirit. What
and
you've
kindness. Don't forget about that.
well, I don't want to reduce her to her element if I can help it. But
But yeah, I know. But at the same time, too, that what portrays her because Fluttershy is one of those kind characters that that's her quote unquote element. But at the same time, too, that what defines her. That what makes her stand out from the rest. Like yes, you don't want to define her by her element, but that's what she do. She opens up to people. Like, a good example is in the movie where she sits down and asks her what Yeti, what's wrong? You want to talk about it? And in the end, they had a good session.
they had a good
And
session.
sometimes just being kind to one another is just what we need.
Of course, I still want to know what those storm guards were ever saying. I'm convinced one of them, when he got two clamshells to the eyes, he screamed, "My butt cheek." It's like, wait, what did he just say? My butt cheek. Your butt cheek? No, that's your face. My butt cheek. Dude, do you need some preparation H? Yeah, go back.
What?
Go back and watch that scene. It's the scene where Skystar throws her imaginary friend shells at a storm guard.
Oh
They
god.
pierce his eye. He screams, "My butt cheek!" And I'm just like, what?
Oh my god, Celestial.
Oh, I managed to break Norman.
Yeah, I ain't expecting that. Magical dude, I'm from Malaysia. It is in Southeast Asia.
Yes, Unfortunately, Norman is one of the few friends who I have only gotten to talk to through the internet. I've not yet gotten to talk to him in person. I'm hope.
Yeah, and it's not because lack of trying. Like, I'll just explain a bit of the reasons why it's hard for me to see you or vice versa. One of the few things is that if I want to hit to the United States, I need to apply for a visa. And applying for the visa would cost me per try, by the way, 100 and let's just say $105. And if you convert it by four, that would probably reach about 450 of my local currency per try. So usually it's a one-time thing, and people get the visa and they last for 10 years. But if you fail the test, you need to do it again, and that's another $105.
Ouch.
So yeah, it's expensive. And on top of that, after getting the visa, you need to head to the States. And let's just say travel costs around 10,000 of my local currency. So yeah, that ain't easy. That ain't easy. And also on top of that, I need to find a place to lodge, eat, and so on. So let's just say that traveling is hard and expensive.
Ugh. Wow. I didn't even realize that it was per application. Yowza.
Yep.
Oh,
And in all honesty, it's not that bad when you really think about it. Because some of my friends, I believe you met Daniel and Charlie. So they managed to do it. So why can't I? I don't have the cash.
well, and there's some human malware going on right now.
Oh yeah, I mean that was before the malware.
I did have the pleasure of getting to talk with them a little bit at the final BronyCon.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wish I could have gone there, man. Like, I wish I've gone there because since it was the last and whatnot. But monies, I
Money,
hate the monies.
money, 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 money.
Mm. Here's a good one. Uh, tra- tr- um, how do you say that name? I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that name. But what is your least favorite song in MLP?
Oh, this is from Thaddeus Risher.
Ah, yes.
My least favorite song. Man, my least favorite song. I mean, I'm usually very charmed by their song, by MLP songs.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? I will say, "You Are a Princess." You'll play your part.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, how do I put this? It's not. I actually find the melody quite wonderful, and the singing of the princesses is great. But it's a song where the message just seems bad. Twilight is worried about her role as a princess, and the others are saying, "Oh, you'll be fine because you're a princess." That sounds far too passive. It's like she's asking questions to build her own destiny. That's good. That's healthy. That's determination. Seeing this alicorn fills you with determination. So why are you pacifying her with this song, just assuring her that fate will give her a purpose? Encourage her. Say, yeah, let's go out. Let's find a purpose that you're comfortable with. So yeah, I'd say as much as I like the technical aspects of You Are Princess, I don't quite care for the message.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Like the melody songs there. I understand. I understand. And I don't know. To me, see, after season 3, the songs were not memorable. Like they lost its luster,
Ah,
and I feel I don't really remember much of the other songs. Like I remember everything from season 1, a bit of season 2 and season 3. But if you ask me what season 4, I got no idea.
mm.
But looking at the wiki, to answer this question, blanks flanks forever.
Rumble turning the Crusaders' own arguments against them.
Yeah, it's not a bad song. The melody, the tone, Vincent really carry a tune, but the message, the whole thing is like, oh god, grow up already.
Alrighty. As we're gonna start wrapping things up, let's go with sort of a lightning round of questions.
Hmm.
Really quick stuff. Let's see here. I saw
All right.
earlier question. Prism Shard. Who said this quote? Evacuate the city, engage all defenses, and get this man a shield.
Ah, that would be T'Challa
Exactly right.
from yeah.
Yes, you are correct, sir. Let's see here.
Yay.
Royal Silver. Do you think that during the battle against the Dazzlings, should the song Leviathan from Voltbeat be the perfect song for any of them since they're creatures of the sea? I haven't heard Leviathan, so I don't know
Same here.
if it's any creature under the sea and it's a sea theme that can backfire. Imagine that song set to the SpongeBob SquarePants theme.
Oh wow! Talking about SpongeBob, this is a quick tangent for a bit.
Sure.
SpongeBob has a new series called Camp something, and it's in 3D now, and the character designs are dumb.
Oh dear.
That's about it.
Is Squidward dead? Because I seem to recall everyone was worried he'd taken his own life.
The actor or the
The
character?
character. I mean,
Let's just say that he's better off dead now.
dark. I mean,
Yep.
to be fair, like Tom and Jerry, people think that the final Tom and Jerry cartoon of the olden days featured them waiting for a train to hit them. It's like, wow, really?
Okay.
Uh, but I digress. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Whose ego is worse, Rainbow Dash or Trixie? This is from Lightning Dashy.
Wow. Okay. I'm trying to really think about that one, and both of them are bad. But once they move along in seasons, they got better. But I have to say Trixie, because Trixie has still has that ego behind her, because even when she's trying to apply for a teacher job, she still shows that ego behind her. Rainbow Dash, not so much.
Yes, I will agree that Trixie has the far more aggressive and sometimes dangerous ego. That's not to say Rainbow shouldn't keep herself in check. Let's see here. Oh, Marlon Portem Calpe. Is it okay for me to do comic
Mm-hmm.
dubs of the comics I've made on your new YouTube channel? By all means, have fun and please send me a link so I can see what you did.
Yeah, that'll
Uh,
be fun.
Royal Silver, I appreciate if you would link me to the song. I'd be grateful. And over on Twitch, River, have a wonderful night's sleep. So, one final question. From Ellie Penner. Have you heard of the game No Straight Roads? Real good music and character design. Okay. I have not heard of this. Norman?
Give me a second. This one.
What?
This one is a Malaysian made game.
Oh. Because when you say, oh, this one, it's like, okay, that's either like really good or really bad.
Oh, it's good. I think Seppi played it, Master of Leg played it, and they tell me that it's really good. And one of the downsides that they mentioned is that the voice acting in the game is a bit off. It's like sounds strange, and from what I can tell, they use Malaysian actors, or I think Southeast Asian actors, to voice the characters. And there's a scene where a person is talking in Malay. So yeah, that's one of those things where for me it's a matter of pride, because hey, my country is being represented in a game finally somehow.
I've not yet played it. In fact, I'm afraid this is the first time I've heard of it. But now that I know what Norman's representing, I gotta step up and see this. But I'll say this: if the critique is, oh, there's some bad voice acting or awkward voice acting, I played a game called Robotic Alchemic Drive. It was
Sorry.
the worst voice acting you could imagine. Especially this one girl who's supposed to play this really downtrodden young woman who's sort of the innocent you're trying to protect throughout the game. She has a scene where she dies if you fail an objective, and her actual death scream is Kia. Okay, so
Oh god.
after that, any critique of the voice acting's a little weak. No, it could be weaker. It could be way weaker.
Yeah, I mean nowadays voice actings for game have improved a lot. Like they spend the time and effort to just make the voices better and good. That goes for anime too.
Alrighty. And with that, folks, I'm sorry if I couldn't answer all the questions, but I hope it was a satisfactory amount, at least. And Norman, I appreciate you getting up early to take part in this.
No problem, man. It's my pleasure. Like usually, I'm the one that asking you to wake up early to do this for what years and years now. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. Although I confess I'm not much of a morning person. It's like I think Norman's probably heard me sounding like The Walking Dead when I got up. My life is
Yeah.
weird.
The more I think about it, right? The more I think about it, like we could have changed the schedule, because the reason why I set it at night, sorry, the reason why I set it at that time slot was because to account for James's appearance.
Well, hey, uh, things we adapt as life unfolds. You know,
True, true.
there's so many times I said, "Oh, it probably would have gone better if I'd done X, Y, Z." Well, it didn't occur to me at the time because there was a lot of other stuff going on. That's just the way it goes sometimes. So my message to everyone is don't beat yourself up with woulda, coulda, shouldas.
Yeah, in the end, everything works out in some shape or form. And well, with this revelation for me, I will decide how to go things forward. Like because now I know that the reason why we do this at this time slot is because of this. I could change it. Yeah.
Excellent. Alrighty. Well, everyone, I want to thank you for giving us your time and attention and your questions. Hope it's been fun. You've one odd thing I realized tonight while working, the windows on my Illustrator don't show up on the stream. I know that's a weird thing to realize now of all things, but
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to look into, because I'm using a lot of the tools. It's kind of hard to demonstrate if you can't see what I'm working with. I will have to see what I can do to fix this. But in the meantime, I hope you
Yeah.
all. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't been paying attention to your artwork. Sorry about that. Probably because, well, I'm looking for questions.
Not to worry. I get the artwork done for my Patreon supporters, and well, apparently I'm going to have a train station background by the time this is done. Of course, I will.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Of course, I will also be like, why can't they settle on a train design? But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful and restful weekend, and just take it easy on yourselves. Have some fun. And as a shameless self plug, you can still catch my most recent review of My Little Pony issue 93 on my YouTube channel. And I'm aiming to have a video released this weekend, a quick little something. Norman, what would you like to promote?
Well, let's see. Let me open this. Well, you can always catch the MBS shows featuring me, Silver, and Tara over on the YouTubes. That's youtube.com/the MBS show. We do pony comics. Sorry, we review pony comics, episodes, and specials. And sometimes we like to diverse by doing video games, comic books, cartoons, and anime. I think the last time when we talk about uh, other things than pony was 2020, what entertained us, and that was what Warframe for you? No, not Warframe. Destiny 2.
Destiny 2 and a lot of sci-fi and fantasy audiobooks.
Yeah. So if you want to hear more of what Silver listened to from 2020 or what he did or what, check out there because it's really fun and entertaining.
So it's good times. And if you want to connect with Norman on social media and find the MBS show, there's a link in the description of this very stream. So just head on down there. So everyone, be well, be healthy, and just take care. I'm Silver Quill,